99.9 KSFM Abuja. Welcome to The Good Neighbor, a world where compassion meets action. This is a radio program embarking on a journey of understanding and empathy as we introduce you to a non-governmental organization dedicated to supporting women, the elderly, and the vulnerable in our society. This is the story of Vessel of the Innocent Charity Empowerment Foundation, known as the Voice Foundation. Wherever you are listening to us from, kindly visit our official website at thevoicefound.org to find out more about us. Please note that we are streaming live on Facebook at The Voice Found. That is The Voice Found. Please join us on Facebook if it is convenient for you. Welcome to another enriching episode of The Voice Foundation. I am your host, Paul Onyegebu, and today we will embark on a topic starting over life after the death of a spouse, which allows us to deepen our understanding, empathy, and support for young widows. Losing a spouse is a painful experience, and the emotional loss can be overwhelming. However, it is important to know that you are not alone in this journey. The Good Neighbor offers insights into starting over after grief and highlights the potential for growth and happiness as a young widow or widower. The stages of widowhood include grief, where you process the shock and begin to face the future; growth, where you focus on moving forward and planning for the future; and grace, the transformation stage, where you embrace a new chapter in life. Young widowhood can have negative impacts on mental and physical health, with increased rates of depression, poor social functioning, and high mortality rates among widows. Building connections, seeking support from others, and avoiding unhealthy coping mechanisms like alcohol and drugs are crucial during this time. You can support this noble cause of the Good Neighbor with your financial contribution, whether big or small. Right? To help us create a world where we enlighten, explore, and aim to foster understanding, appreciation, and promote advocacy for young widows, reach us at the info at thevoicefound.org or our WhatsApp phone line 08098930073. I repeat, 08098930073. Everyone heals at their own pace, but the fear of never fully recovering from this loss can be doubting. How can they embrace it, healing process, and find hope for the future? Follow up where there are any specific moments or milestones to mark their progress in the healing journey they should watch out for. How can they handle moments of doubt or setbacks, and what should motivate them to keep moving forward? Looking back on your journey, what is the most valuable lesson you have learned about starting over after the loss of a spouse? What message would you like to share with other young widows and widowers? How has your experience influenced your perspective on life, love, and resilience? How do you envision your future, and what aspirations do you have for yourself and others in similar situation? Please follow us on our social media platforms at The Voice Found. Remember that we are streaming on Facebook at The Voice Found. And remember that this program is very, very interactive. The WhatsApp phone line to send your message is 08098930073. I repeat, 08098930073. All right. Just please indicate your name and location when sending this number for your messages. Yes, if you're just joining us, this is the Good Neighbor radio program produced by the Voice Foundation. And on this program, we will be engaging with experts, activists, stakeholders, and individuals who have first-hand experiences to provide valuable insights. We aim to dismantle stereotypes, highlight available support system, and discuss legislative measures and societal changes necessary for progress and societal development. But joining us in the studio to expand the conversation on promoting advocacy for starting over life after the death of a spouse is a legal practitioner and coordinator of McGregor in Abuja, Yewande Ogudipe. It's nice to have you. Good evening.
It's a pleasure being here. Thank you for having me.
All right. We also have Rhoda Mwaju, CEO of Ray Bright Couture, who has lived through such experience. It's nice to have you. Good evening and welcome.
Thank you.
Please just move closer to the mic, all right? Because it's going to be an engaging segment today. So, let us delve into this subject by exploring some thought-provoking questions. By discussing these questions and raising awareness, we can collectively work towards creating a society that values and supports young widows. To move forward, it is important to express your emotions, jumpstart your life by finding new focuses and activities, build connections with others, foster an attitude that allows for rebirth and renewal, and avoid harmful substances. Healing takes time, and it is essential to go at your own pace while rediscovering your strength and seeking professional help if needed. It is crucial to remember that your late spouse would want you to be happy and to find meaning in life after widowhood. I encourage you to join the conversation by calling in and sharing your thoughts, personal experiences, or questions. Stay tuned to The Good Neighbor on 99.9 Kiss FM Abuja, because the change starts now. Now, let's just go into the conversation proper. I'm going to come to you, Prof. I'm going to come to you. Oh, sorry. I'm going to come to you, Mrs. Rhoda Mwaju. Can you share your journey of starting over after the loss of a spouse, and how do you find the strength to move forward and rebuild your life?
Okay, it wasn't easy starting over again because at a point I felt everything was over. Actually, the thing that made me to move forward is that that situation is not the end of my life. I just have to move forward.
Pick up.
Yeah.
Follow.
You know, before I lost my husband,
Yeah.
that was in 2014.
Okay.
I lost my father. I lost the baby 2013. Lost my father the same 2013. 1 year after my father died, I lost my husband. So it was something. It was big.
Okay.
It was heavy on me. So I just had to, like, okay, what do I do? I can't kill myself. And my son was just 8 months old when his father died. So I said to myself, you have to live, if not for anything, for your son.
Yeah.
I actually decided not to move forward because of everything that has happened to me, all that I've gone through. You know, the marriage was just 2 years, but
quite young.
Yes. So, but one day I decided, when my son asked me, Mommy, everybody has a daddy. And that was when he was 5. Everyone has a daddy in school. I don't have a daddy. When will I have a daddy? So I said to myself, moving on, I have to move on for my son.
So, talking about moving on, how did you navigate this whole thing? How did you move on?
I just had to do what I had to do, because I actually didn't want to move on. I just wanted to remain single, a single mom taking care of my son. But I thought of it, so many things coming up. Widowhood is not an easy thing. You get insults everywhere. Somebody looks at you, think you're a beggar. You know, when you greet them, good morning, the next thing they'll be thinking is, I don't have money.
Yeah,
and
you're taking for aid
yes,
or something.
and so it was really telling on me. And I really wanted my son to have a father figure. I don't have a brother, and my father had died. So he somehow started behaving like a girl. I wanted a father figure for him.
Yeah.
So he was one of the things that moved me. My son was one of the reasons I had to, like, okay,
Be
you need to
strong
pick
for
up.
yourself. Yeah.
You need to pick up. You need to move on. That was actually number one reason. But later on, I discovered that, okay, this my son I'm talking about should not even be the reason. Like, I need to move on for myself. I can't continue dwelling in the past, because that's not the end of my life. So that was it.
So were there any support systems or resources you got, particularly this that was actually helpful during that journey?
Okay. Actually, when I got married, I came from Kaduna, and I got married in Abuja. So my family, that's my mother and my siblings, were not here. So when I lost my husband, one of my junior sisters was with me.
Yeah.
my last born. So she was really a very good girl. Like she didn't give me any troubles.
Yeah.
She was always looking out for me. And then my church too. My
Quite
church
helpful.
did very well. Yes,
Yeah.
you know they visit, they have call you. How are you? Hope you're doing well. If you have any problem, let us know like that. So from time to time they visit and encourage and pray with me. And then I had some friends too that will come around and
Just to cheer
yes,
you up and
yes.
just keep you going. All right, I'm going to come to you, Mrs. Yuwande. Can you share some practical tips for young widows and widowers who are just considering just starting their own life after the loss of a spouse? And how did you discover new interests and passions during this process?
Thank you for that question. First, I want to applaud my sister. You've gone through what has destroyed so many women, and you actually came out stronger, bigger, and better.
Yeah.
A big kudos to you.
Thank you.
Well, on my own parts, my work with widows,
Yeah.
interacting with them, and listening to their pain and then their challenges, I believe one of the first things that would help a woman or a man, let's have it at the back of our mind that widowhood also involves men and women, not just women, even though we're focusing on women here, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to widowhood, the first thing you need to help you survive that phase is a good support system. She said it all. Once you have good friends, you have good religious leaders like churches or mosques that are ready to rally around you, good family members ready to rally around you. That's your number one take, your support system. Because the first few days of the bereavement is like your world has come crashing. So if you don't have a good support system, you might never survive it. In fact, it's very crucial, the first few days of the bereavement, having a solid, good, authentic, and genuine support system. Not people that will show up the first few weeks or the first few days, and months later, they are nowhere to be found. She survived because she had supporters all the way. So when you have a good support system, that helps you through it. Another thing is having it at the back of your mind. It's a phase. Grief is like, how will I call it now? It's yes, grief is a phase, and it never really ends. It's a phase that never ends. It's something that is continuous because there will be triggers. Like you're a man, you lost your wife, you see a man with his wife in an eatery. There will be a trigger. You remember, oh, the grieving process starts again. But the only thing is that the way you grieve when the loss started has reduced. So always have it at the back of your mind. I'll be fine. I'll go through it. Whenever I see anyone bereaved and I go visit them, the first thing I tell them is, you will be fine. Why am I confident to tell them you will be fine? I've seen people that have gone through that process. And over the years, over time, with a good support system, they end up getting over it. They don't really get over it per se, but they live beyond that phase. And then the grief and the stress and then the pain reduces. Remember, it's a process that never goes away. Yeah. It's a phase, it's in different phases. From the moment of bereavement, a year after, 2 years after, 10 years after, it's a process that you never really forget. So have it at the back of your mind. I've gone through this phase. I will be fine. Then number dwell on good memories. That's another thing I tell grieving people. What are those awesome memories you had with the deceased? What were those awesome memories? Dwell on them. Remember them and smile. Don't remember them and start crying again. Even though I tell people, let it out. You can cry. Crying is a therapy. I don't go to someone bereaved and say, don't cry. Please, no. Please cry very well. Go to your bedroom. Cry very well. Yes. Clean your eyes. Come out again. Do your makeup. Step out. When you come back again, feel free to cry. It's a therapy. You don't tell someone grieving not to cry. Yeah. Do you get it? Yeah. So the point. What point was I on there? What was my point again? Sorry. You remember. Yes, remember good memories. Thank you. Good memories of the deceased. What were those awesome times you spent together? Remember them and smile. Let them put a smile on your face. And then even in the moment of grief, you ask yourself, what would this person want me to do at this moment? Would he want me to stay for weeks without having a bath? Would he want me to stay for weeks without eating? Would he want me to even stay for years without thinking of remarrying? She picked pieces up.
There's some people that can't actually process it. It's very certain individuals handle things differently.
Oh, definitely.
So how can they at least surmount this whole thing? And can they do that?
Oh, definitely they can. That's why we have grief counselors. Oh, okay. When I go and meet anyone that is bereaved, I ask them. We have grief counselors. Yeah. Do you want to talk to a counselor? That's for those that they are grieving has got it to an extreme. Do you need a grief counselor? But I've come to discover that in our climate, Nigeria and Africa as a whole, there's a way we just get over things sharp. it's the foreign world that you find them looking for grief counselors. But at the same time, if you're here and then the grief is so overwhelming, you seem not to be able to go surpass it, no problem. We have grief counselors. You can contact any notable non-governmental organization like mine, my Gaga Gender Foundation. We have grief counselors that do it for free.
Oh, okay.
With limited time frame, not exceeding like 30 minutes or an hour. We counsel you about your grief and you pass through that phase, hopefully successfully. What other thing do you have to have at back of your mind when you're grieving? Celebrate the memory of the deceased. Celebrate the memory of the deceased. That's why you find people having foundations. Oh, Chief so and so foundation. They are trying to attach that loss to something memorable, to something impactful, whereby maybe on the anniversary of the death or maybe the death anniversary, you find them doing a program for the less privileged or having a public lecture. You're celebrating the memory of that deceased person. You find women losing their children at a very young age and they start up a foundation for that child. And then every year, annually, you remember that child for something good. Do you get it? So there are various ways of going through grief, various ways of going through it and coming out.
All right, I'm going to come to you, Mrs. Rhoda. At least you've had this experience, and just tell us what the emotional challenges like of widowhood while you be taking care of your children, and especially as they were as a young widow. Just tell us.
Okay, there's a lot of challenges actually. One, you need to talk to someone sometimes. You can't tell your sister that thing that is bothering you. You can't talk to your mother. You can't even talk to your pastor. The only person you could tell that thing is supposed to be your spouse. And now you don't have him anymore. So it was really telling on me. It made me cry all the time. I had to cry all the time. In fact, my little son then, he was growing. He's the one that looked at me and said, Mommy, you are going to be fine. He was a very little boy. And I didn't just see him talking because he was a little. What does he know about being fine? I just felt, okay, God was using him to talk to me. It's really difficult. And in relating with people too, I had an experience where I was living, one man just came like that and I don't even know what I did to him. He so insulted me and I just looked at him and said, is it because I'm a widow? And then he said, don't come and start throwing that normal tantrums widows throw, You want to come and start playing pity card and all that. I just looked at him and I sat down. I cried a lot. I said, God, what is all this? What is all this happening to me? And there was a stage where a counselor called it a healing process actually. When my husband died, I was 29. I was 29 years old. So I wasn't feeling anything. In fact, I didn't want any man around me. I don't want anybody to talk to. If you tell me how are you, I will not even listen to you. I wasn't listening. But I think when it was about 3 years, that was 2017, and I started having some kind of feelings. And I was worried. I said, why should I be having this kind of feelings? I don't have a husband. And I don't want to, begin to do things that I know some other people were doing to take care of themselves. And then somebody told me, Rhoda, you're actually healing. Because it's one healing process where you begin to feel, okay, I wish somebody would give me a hug or something. So that was one of the things. And then, as a widow, need arises. I had work, I work, I solve my problems. But there are some problems you look at, it looks as if it's so big. It's a man that is supposed to solve this problem. I keep saying, something like house rent. A man should pay house rent, A man should pay school fees. So now, as a widow, you have to do everything because you are the husband and you are the wife. So those things were really telling on me. And
I understand that feeling. All right, if you're just joining us, yes, this is the Voice Foundation coming to you from a Vessel of the Innocent Charity Empowerment Foundation. And today we are taking a look at starting over life of a young widow. And we have two wonderful ladies talking to us on how you can navigate this situation and how you can actually start over. You can be part of the conversation. The numbers to call 090300899 or 08099987770. I repeat, 090300899 or 080 Call in if you have an experience you can share. If you have any tip you want to talk, you want to share, of course, we are ready to take your tip, and it's going to be very, very helpful. You don't know who is listening, so please call in and do justice to that. All right, I'm going to come to you, Mrs. Yewande. Building connections and finding support are crucial during the journey of starting over. How can a young widow go about building a support system for themselves, and what role can friends, family, or support groups play in their healing process? Because it's very important.
Exactly, very important. All right. What I'm going to say is this: whenever, whoever you are,
Yeah.
whatever you're into, you have to be very careful of your association. That's why they say you can never be greater than your association. Now imagine all of a sudden you're grieving a loved one and you have riffraffs around you. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So you are as powerful as your support system, you're as powerful as your association. Who are you associating with? Who are your friends? That's why they keep saying, show me your friend, I'll tell you who you are.
If you're grieving, your friend should also
I'm telling you. So if you don't have a good set of people around you, or you don't have a good circle, automatically you're grieving. If that grief doesn't kill you, then God loves you. Do you understand? Because they're going to go a long way in helping you through that system, helping you through that particular phase. So what I'm going to advise young men, young women is this: whoever, you don't go into an institution thinking that, okay, along the line this man is going to die. No. So what am I going to say? Empower yourself. Make sure you have a good source of income. Make sure you're comfortable. Make sure you also have something you're bringing to the table. Because it's worse when a man or a woman leaves you and that used to be the breadwinner. Do you get it? In fact, the cry will be like double or three times. When you know that my source of, you understand where will you start again? Who will feed me? But when you also have your own, you do your own, you make your own. It reduces. You will still grieve, but it reduces the grief. That's why you see some comedians making some funny joke that when you see the wife of a poor man and a rich man crying, the cry is different. Do you understand? That is on a lighter note anyway. Another thing is this: when it comes to your support system, supporting such people, the kind of association you have around you, also make sure you're active in your religious circle. Do you get it? If you are in church, be active in church. We're not saying every time you are there. No. Do you get it? But have a circle you belong to. If it's a service group, be there, be active. Those are part of the people that will support you in case of that. Like she rightly said, our church was always there for her. It's very crucial. So if you're a Muslim, go to your mosque very well. Be known for something, be active. If you're a Christian, attend your church. You're not attending because of grief. You're also attending to have a good support system. Now, the support system is not only for grieving, also for celebrations. You can as well be celebrating and nobody will attend because you're not sociable or nobody knows you or you're not in a particular circle. So for the purposes of this discourse now, your circle is very important because it tells a lot and how fast you go through.
Talking about circles, are there any specific support groups or communities that can provide safe space for young widows?
Oh, definitely. Because of the society we live in now, we have things like harmful widowhood practices, women that in-laws just come up, get out of our brother's house, they are ready to displace you. There you need to look for a credible, logical, and effective NGO. Or you go to the necessary gender office. Every state in Nigeria, I want to believe, has a gender office. And they have what they call safe havens. Safe havens are where you keep women that have peculiar situations and they need to hide or stay away for a while. You go to your gender office, they will intervene and they work in collaboration with the Ministry of Women Affairs and with the police. So if there's a need to make any arrest or invite anybody, they'll be there for you to support you in that system. And also we have NGOs, like I said earlier, we have people that do free counseling, grief counseling. That's if you don't have any legal issues, but you have emotional issues, psychological issues that you need someone to talk to, then you have grief counselors. So I think that does it. The gender office of every state, the police also, they have a gender desk at some police stations. If you have peculiar issues, you can go there. And if you need to talk to a psychologist, like I said, some hospitals also offer that facility whereby you can talk to someone about your grieving process.
All right. I'm going to come to you, madam. Looking back on your journey, what is the most valuable lessons you've learned about starting over after the loss of your husband? And what message would you like to share with other young widows and widowers in just 2 minutes?
Okay. I would say the experience I had is that a loss of a spouse is not actually the end of your life.
Okay.
You just need to move on. I decided not to move on. I moved on at 8 years after losing.
Whoa, quite
So
long.
I just realized that I was actually doing more harm to myself than what I thought was good. So you just have to look for a way to move on.
You actually
It's very
talk to
difficult.
yourself
Yes.
and said, man, I must move.
Yes, because nobody will actually tell you what to do with your life. You know what you're feeling. I knew my relationship with my late husband. It was just something out of this world. So I was just thinking, what if I move on? What if this person is not like that? What if my son is not treated the way I want? At a point, I looked at everything. I said, okay, whatever is going to happen will happen.
Yeah.
Whether you move on or not, life has to go on.
Yeah.
And it's better for you to move on, Rhoda. So I called myself. I said, Rhoda, you have to move on.
How do you feel now? Now you've moved on.
He's good moving on, you know. I just felt, there are so many years, I've lost so many years of happiness, joy. Widowhood is something that makes someone sad. You can just be passing and somebody's laughing and you just begin to feel maybe they're laughing at me.
Yeah.
Go ahead. So somebody just make a statement, you take it so personal. So now I have someone to talk to, someone to share happy moments, something sad moment or angry moment.
If
I
you
have
look
someone
at
to
your
quarrel
son
with.
alone, you'll be very, very
Yeah.
happy.
And my son is so happy now. He has someone he calls daddy.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to come to you, Mrs. Yewande. Just in 30 seconds, your final words to any widower, any widow. Just.
What I would say is this: you'll be fine. Say that to yourself. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
You will be fine. It's a phase that passes over a while, and based on your mindset, you'll be fine. Just trust in yourself, talk to yourself, dwell on good memories, and consciously move on, because you can actually thrive better, bigger, stronger after this phase. It all depends on you. So just keep telling yourself it will be fine, and it does get better.
Okay. And you, Mrs. Rhoda, your final words.
Yeah. What I would say is young widows should not just throw their stuff at anybody, because a lot of people want to take advantage, especially if you're a young widow and maybe your husband left you something good and you're doing well. A lot of people want to come around just to play around and do away with all you have. You have to be very careful. Moving on, you don't just move on with anybody. You can't move from fry pan to fire. You have to be very careful, and you must decide, okay, I need to move on. You move on, and God will help you move on.
All right. It's a pleasure having you, Mrs. Rhoda Omanju, the CEO of Ray Bright Couture, and also the lawyer herself, Mrs. Yewande Ogudibe. She is she's a legal practitioner and coordinator of McGregor in Abuja.
McGregor Gender Foundation.
Oh, McGregor Gender Foundation. Yeah, right here in Abuja. It's a pleasure having you, ladies. Come talk to us about the importance and how you can actually start over and move on as a young widow. Thank you very much. All right, it's time we'll leave the studio, but please remember to always join us in this particular program. We come up on Sunday by 5 o'clock to 5:30. We are the Voice Foundation, and we are a vessel of the Innocent Charity Empowerment Foundation. And please, you can actually, if you want to have an insight of what we do, if you want to have anything, you want to ask any question, please visit our website at thevoicefound.org. Thevoicefound.org. And you can visit our social media platform on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's at The Voice Found. Also remember that you can reach us through our phone lines at 08098930073. I repeat, 08098930073. Or you can send an email at info@thevoicefound.org. info@thevoicefound.org. That's about it. Like I said, join us same time, same station next week for another explosive episode. My name is Paul Onyegebu. Have a wonderful Sunday. Bye bye and God bless.
Thank you. Take a cue from you.